Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for tuning back in and listening. Pleasure. It's your host, Rob G, the one and only. Today we have, as you know, we're shooting on a very special day for a very special show. Hopefully the first of many to recognize these people in our community doing the right thing. Um, we have a very special co-host and some guys on the panel that's got a lot to say. So at this time, as you know, we always say, please like, subscribe, and share this video to get our views up and check us out on YouTube. So we're running a little behind, so I'm gonna go straight to the introductions. Y'all give it up. Y'all have seen her on the show several times. Today is my co-host, my buddy. Y'all always got a lot to say, so y'all bring it. Give it up for Miss Bakura Shabazz. Welcome to the stage. What's
Yes,
going on? How you doing, baby girl?
I'm feeling great. Like this show right here is everything to me right now. Like, man, thank you for hosting this show. This is special.
Listen, I thank y'all for even considering us to do this. You know, I like to do it all, but I really appreciate because you could did it anyway. You could have did it on your own. So I appreciate you for having us being a part of your. Actually, this
Oh,
is
I
your
got to do
idea,
it with
your
the
show.
best.
Yeah, this is your show, your idea, and we just rocking out with you.
Yes,
so,
yes. Well, you're the best to do it. And I'm loyal. I don't play by my loyalty.
so I'm gonna let you, since you the co-host today, and it's your kickoff. I'm gonna let you introduce your guests. Go down the panel, introduce your guests, and bring them on as you introduce them. As I'm sharing this video on social medias right now.
Yeah, I'm sharing right now too. I'm trying to get it everywhere in all the places.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so the tonight's show is focused on five individuals, five young men from various parts of Virginia that I have seen just transform. Just they've always been good people, but just transform their lives miraculously. And in a day and age right now where we're living in perilous times, the community is not what it used to be. There's a breakdown in our communities with friendships that used to be tight and families that used to be tight, and the goal is to get that back right. The police and the system has tore down our communities. They have been, their plan to destroy Black communities has beyond exceeded what I believe their expectations were. And so when I can identify folks in our communities that are credible and incredible, that are doing the work that our children can look up to and take advice from, I think it's important that we acknowledge those folks and that we let people know who those pillars in the community are. And so that is what this show is about today. It is called From Wrong to Right. All of these gentlemen are formerly incarcerated individuals, spent a significant time of their lives in either state or federal prisons, and came out and just did the doggone thing and is paying it forward. And so with that being said, can we bring them all out at one time and then we do an introduction to how you want to do it, one at a time, how you want to do that?
On you, baby. If you want to, I might have to click on one at a time, but then I can bring them all on, and then you go from there.
Okay, we're gonna click them one at a time until I get them all up here, and then we're gonna do it introductions.
All righty, say less. I'm bringing them all on the stage now.
Look at all these fabulous men. Yes, look at all these men. Hey y'all. So I did a little introduction, and I just want to say thank you all for joining the show tonight. And before you all came, I just was, doing acknowledgments of the phenomenal job that you all have done transforming your lives. I let the people know that you all have always been good people. However, there has been a significant change in all of you, and where I know you to come from to where you all are now. And when we have phenomenal people that are worthy to be considered to be role models, to be credible, folks that tell the truth, regardless of who like it or not, the community needs to be able to identify who those people are, right? And when the system has done such a phenomenal job at tearing our communities down, it is our responsibility to make sure that they do not continue to be able to be successful in those feats. And I just wanted to identify all of you who are on this show today as just men of grandeur in our communities. And some of you all are not in Newport News anymore, but you still Newport News to the heart. So it don't matter where you at, it's gonna be Newport News forever. And so I want to introduce everybody. And I'm gonna do y'all one by one, but I just wanted y'all all to come on at the same time. And so let's start off with Petey, Pierre Russell.
Love y'all, man. Peace.
Yes, introduce yourself, Petey.
Um, I'm Pierre Russell. As you can see at the bottom, I don't know if everybody else can see the name.
Yeah, it's on there.
And I'm just like everyone else that grew up in disadvantaged communities and households and things of that nature. I experienced that side of life and had to go away, do some time. Um, Fortunately for me, it was a learning experience, and it made me. I came out a better person. It wasn't overnight. I still make mistakes. I'm a man, but I'm getting better at speaking, and definitely I want to speak more to this issue of our youth and bringing some value to my community and our communities, and not just Newport News, Hampton. Wherever I go, I look to be a role model in that sense of being reformed and being a better person and learning from my mistakes.
Awesome. Next up, Kenyon Johnson.
What's up? What's up? My name is Kenyon Johnson. Grew up around from uptown, grew up in Denby, Newport News bound, you know what I'm saying? Known as Cornflake. As a I think I was 21 or 22 when I got locked up, man. And then I was given life plus 30, everything suspended except for 18, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so I'm one of these guys on the panel who played in the street. Judge sat you down, stood up and threw the book at you and sat you down and made you have to think. And while I was in the process of doing time and thinking, I had to reevaluate some stuff, yo. Go in as a child, thinking like a child, come out thinking and walking as a man.
Salute.
No doubt.
Super dope. Let's go with Chris.
First and foremost, I appreciate y'all for allowing this historical event to even take place. Christopher Joyner's my name. I killed C. Nitty. I'm here to set the record straight that these four men that y'all see right here is mandatory that y'all listen to them when they speak or their face is present, because they don't have a lying bone in their body. They're gonna tell the facts, whether who like it or not. And we here to help everybody. Ain't no problems with nobody in these streets or communities. We need to unify and do what's right now. I've been blessed with the opportunity to be the vice president of the Injustice Reform Network. I've been blessed to be the vice president of Seoul USA School of Leaderships with our Bangladesh brothers in a whole different other country. If them people are willing to listen to me, to allow me to be a voice in their country to help lift them, I feel Bad News need to listen to me now. We here for y'all. We love y'all. Stand up, VA.
Yes. And not last but not least, definitely not, my brother Dominique Jowers. Come on, Dominique.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Dominique Jowers. Call me Q. They probably know me as Q. But yeah, life growing up in Newport News, it was a struggle, an everyday struggle. Um, it took me away from Newport News. Newport News took me away from Newport News. Crazy.
Yes, it
A place that
will.
I love, place that I really love. um, I mean, Newport News is no place greater to me than Newport News. But at the same time, Newport News is one of them places that will take your innocence, it'll take your life, it'll give you life, it'll help you restore your life. but you just got to be able to bob and weave through the foolishness, and always try to ride with the sides of righteousness. Long as you stay on that side, them people won't be able to put their hands on you and throw away the key on you, man. If y'all understand what I'm saying. And if you don't, I'm on Facebook. Get at me. I got a lot of information for you. And all walks of life, all types of fields, all that. Just get at me. I'm not going to run to you because I'm a busy person trying to get my life all the way in order. But if you reach out to me, I'll definitely get back to you. That's that.
That's it.
You know, I hear all of you all talking that, about restoration, how you all have been restored, from your previous lives and where you all are now. And so you have a story of resiliency. And I know that for me, folks may say, "Oh, that she called him her brother. She gonna speak up for him." No, because if y'all was full of shit, I would say it too. Even if you was my brother, I'm gonna tell you to tell the truth. But you all have kept me safe in so many ways, by telling me the truth. When Bakira ain't right, y'all be like, "No, sis, that ain't what you need to be doing." And that's what our community needs. That people that are not just going to, because of affiliation, going to tell you what it is that you want to hear. You gonna tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And so we want our youth to be able to replicate what that looks like, but I don't think they know what that looks like. And so growing up in Newport News, you all were out there. Y'all was together. I seen you on the corner. When I was still on the porch, I saw y'all. But tell me, how did y'all get pulled in at such a young age?
You first, Chris.
I got tired of the roaches in my house.
Did you say the roaches?
Yeah, I got tired of the roaches in my house. I got tired of hearing my mother continuously say what she want to provide for us, and I witnessed her busting her ass to do them things. And I always looked at myself as a young man, and I needed to assist my mother, man. I failed at it. At the end of the day, I failed at it. I ain't accomplished nothing. Got in the street and just paid attention, eyes wide open, and seen it can happen out here. And it was all a facade, man. It was all a facade.
Who next?
Well, I grew up in a household full of women. Had two sisters and a mother and a stepfather that all he did was work and drink. And I didn't really have a role model per se. So I kind of took to the guys that were already in the streets because that was appealing to me. Like hand the new Jordans, the fly gear, you know what I mean? And, the ones that appeared to be winning. That wasn't a word back then, but in actuality, that's what it looked like. It appeared like they were winning. And for the most part, they were. But that's neither here nor there. I think I was looking for more of a family, of brothers, camaraderie. Someone I can go to and talk to about God things. I couldn't go to my sisters. They fucking hate me. I'm the baby boy, so mom always, you know, took care of me a little bit better than what she did with my sisters. And I mean, she couldn't teach me how to be a man. So I looked to my friends and my older men in my community to, kind of emulate and follow behind them until, I guess I got the smell of myself and I was ready to move on to the next level with the guidance of my friends.
Petey.
Yeah. Well, how can I say this? Just lack of. I don't even. Well, for me, where it started, I mean, it was around me. I grew up with my uncles, but they was damn near the same age as me. They 7, 8 years older than me, and watching them do stuff. Of course, in the beginning, I was against it. I'm supposed to have been the one that made it out with my brain, and they kind of, filtered me, try to keep me away, but I'm seeing it. I'm observing it. I know what's going on, So eventually it became a way of life for me, whether they wanted that for me or not, just the excitement of trying to get a dollar, trying to take care. And then when they went to prison and I was I was like 15, 16, all the weight shifted towards me. And now I got to be responsible for taking care of stuff that they was responsible for. And that's just how that's how it went, and that's how it goes a lot in our community. The people that we look up to are not giving us what we need as a community, and that's where I want to at least try to. I can't make up for it, but I can become that voice that I needed when I was a
Right.
teenager. So
Okay. When I had this discussion with some people myself, you know what I'm saying? I just had to keep it real when you hit the bottom line. The bottom line was what got me to come off the porch was that I was a follower. I was following every and anything that was cool, that you know what I'm saying? I ain't had the best of looks. I ain't had the best of dress. So I was doing whatever it did or needed to be do to get my name gradually out there through the process of going through the connections or the people I knew that was around me to get my name popping and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had an older brother. When I was in elementary school, our older brother was in high school. So, I'm watching him, he in dance groups, they hanging with other kids. I mean, other cute dudes his age. They wearing the pages, they wearing the beepers, New Jack City out and popping. Everybody got the gold chain. So I'm watching him, but I'm studying all those around them, and I'm like, damn, that shit look cool right there. You know what I mean? That's the type of lifestyle I wanted to see. And some of his friends, they had the deep dish rims and the low profiles and all that other stuff. And I'm around other people and I'm listening to what they talking about other people. And I'm like, dang, I want people to, speak on my name. You know what I'm saying? So gradually, I went from fighting. We was living on Fort Houston Army base. My mom was in the Army. When we moved off the base, I didn't know nothing about uptown and downtown and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So already me and my brothers could fight. So when I started linking up with people that was already in the streets and they start showing guns, now I want a gun. Once you get that gun and you start hanging with those who already experienced in the street, you'll go from one level to the next and it keep going on and on. And then you start to feel yourself. You start to make a little money. You get more coochie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the coochie was out there,
yeah,
and then
that's a motivator.
so
Battery.
yo, yeah, so your name popping, so that comes with everything else, but you gotta keep it going and stuff. You feel what I'm saying? And then uh that's when I started linking up with other people from downtown. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to Hines Middle School, and I used to love catching the pen train all the way down there and go to Stewart Gardens and chill on the beach with them dudes and meet all the people that they was talking about. And then I started linking up with more people that was deeper and deeper. So, once you start playing with guns and start fighting a lot and all that other stuff, fear go out the door. You ain't scared of a damn thing. The first time you pop that gun, it might have scared you, but it felt good. The sound of it tickled your ear, and you wanted to hear it again. Now you want to see how far you can go or what it would do.
That
And
thunder and that
then,
power. Feel it.
yeah,
You gonna play with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's true too.
So the next I was like, well, damn, that's power. You flashing, you seeing it. Next, now your name is another store. Oh, that nigga Flake got a gun. That nigga crazy. You know what I mean? And then it get to a point where you go you it's like you moving in the car so fast that you ain't got enough time to put your seatbelt on, and then you crash.
Yeah.
I want to say something on it too. I just I don't know. Everybody got their different reasons, and I could just speak from my point of view. Like honestly, me, I ain't. I come from two-parent household, good family, the whole nine. But it's like you say, and I was working my ass off the whole nine. It's just like I feel like it's what come with it, but it's also the lack that we have. It's the consistency. You know what I'm saying? When your family or your homeboys ain't there, guess who always there? them streets are always there, and they always got something for you to do. You know what I'm saying? It may not seem like the best, but it's fun, it's exciting, and you gonna run to it. You know what I mean? So that was the thing that'll catch you. Be like, man, I'm bored. Let's see what they doing. Let's see what this going on. And for you know it, you like, I ain't messing with that. I do a little treat. I do a little this. For you know it, you got your hands and everything, and you wide open. You just the dudes you say you won't become. That's you. You him.
Yeah.
So and
I remember those days. I used to talk junk about my brother. Like, man, you ain't nothing. Man, come in here like stuff in my. I was like, man, you ain't nothing.
And
You
then
later, man. Here I go.
It becomes a point once you get your, like my man said, once you get your hands in, you dibbling, dabbling. Oh man, that money that's stacked up. Now I got to give me a bigger pistol because I got more money. I got more problems now. Once you carry the pistol, that changes your whole attitude. This ain't, we ain't even talking about busting. Once you put it on your hip, your whole mentality, your attitude change. And then once that change, you're done. You fully in the streets. That's just my opinion.
So tell me, and I just shared this, and I said, parents, I need y'all to bring your children into this show. Once you get in it, and y'all, all of y'all said 14, 15, y'all were just turning teen. Once you get in it, does it become an addiction?
Yes.
Were you all addicted to the life once you got in it?
It's the game give a rush one way or the other. Whether you selling it, using it, whatever, it's a rush. It's that's why they call it. That's why they call it the fast life.
Like
it's gonna give you a rush.
Like Flake said, it's the attention. When people start calling your name at that 13, 14, and people start mentioning your name, oh, I'm cool now.
Yeah.
I'm cool. It's a rush. You want that. You want more of that. It ain't even because when we start, it ain't about hurting my op or even getting no money for real. It's about the name, the rush you get from people saying your name.
Yeah.
That's where it starts at.
Yep.
So did you come into it saying, okay, I just want to get this thing and then I'm gonna get out?
I did. I don't know about this.
Yeah, everybody said that.
I wanted to get my school. The first time I got a pack, I wanted to buy my mom was tripping, and I wanted to buy my school clothes for 7th grade.
Nah, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't because we was in the military. You know what I'm saying? That's why I can honestly say I was a follower. I left out our suburban neighborhood to go hang out with the people in the trailer parks and the projects and stuff. You feel what I'm saying?
I know Flake from Denby because we both went to elementary school. I've been knowing him since I was 10 years old. and we were, even though I'm from downtown, Denby where we were at was a totally different atmosphere than downtown. And so I can imagine getting a taste of downtown from super uptown was a culture shock.
Yeah, so when I hear brothers be like, yeah, I did this to get to a certain point or to buy a certain point, I can't relate. Because we had it up here and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I did it, like I said, for the attention and get my name popping. And then, it went from fighting to boxing into my name started growing more and more and more. And then I met Chris Joyner, and I used to hear his name. And I'm like, damn, that's that man I heard about it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Then I met him in jail. And that's what made him start to get cool. I started listening to him more and more and more. I'm like, this dude crazy.
Hey, Chris, like, I'm glad I got rid of that guy.
Yeah.
Damn.
See, when you start meeting people that's really about it and you start thinking about what you'd have done compared to your lifestyle, your culture, compared to what they got going on downtown, you're like, damn, I can go, but I ain't going that goddamn far. You know what I'm saying? That's still the realization of being a follower. I stayed in it, knowing the consequences, knowing how far I was willing to go and how far I wasn't willing to go, but I stayed in it, being a follower.
Psychologically, at that age, was it ever a time where you were afraid?
Every day.
Yeah.
I believe the cowardly state in me was the reason that made me want to destroy everything that I came encounter with. Because I used to be bullied growing up. I'm gonna give him a shout out. James Talley, couple more people out Marshall Court. They used to beat me up and literally push me in the bushes. Petey laughing because I had to start bullying Petey. They were bullying me, and it trickled right on down. But these brothers right here, I would have never harmed. Probably we did inappropriate stuff, might have took something or just ain't cared at the time for survival. But everybody else that I ain't considered a friend, I was held to. And it was because I was really scared that I would fail myself as an individual trying to be one of them other individuals I used to see in the street. I wanted to be better than anybody I thought was really somebody. And I wanted to prove that. And at today's state of mind, that was the most inappropriate conduct I ever did in my life, man. It ain't pay off. Ain't
Can
pay off.
any of you all say that the payoff that you received was worth whatever it was that you did when you went to prison? Was it worth it?
Not even close.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I was about
For
to
me,
say, what?
for me,
I ain't gonna lie, I had a lot of fun.
for
A
me,
whole
Now,
for
hell of a
me,
fun
lot of
is
fun.
different. Fun
it
is different
Dang.
than it being
the
worth it.
payoff.
I enjoyed the lifestyle too, Dad.
When that first I went to one of the worst jails in the 757, man. I thought Newport News was the worst. But Portsmouth City Jail,
It was not worse than Newport News.
man, you out your fucking
No,
man.
sir.
That was the
What?
penitentiary. That was the
It is,
penitentiary
Marie.
of the seven cities.
Shit.
Oh, but I was on the girl side, so it was different. It was different. My bad.
Man, that was
But
a straight reality check right there. Like,
with the
no.
payoff thing, man, I feel it. What it paid off for me was I eventually started to cry. I never cried,
I was gonna ask that.
and
That was gonna be one of my
now
questions for y'all.
the experience I needed to be where I'm at today, because again, I said I was scared. I never wanted to get off the porch. I just wanted to do what was right, but it seemed like for having a lack of education skills and stuff like that, people in the street understood my language, understood my stuttering. I grew up stuttering. I mean, then I started learning the lingo and talking in the street. To this day, I'm still illiterate. I've been on lockdown, half my beard. And most people thought I was checking in, but it wasn't that. I was a prisoner of the warden. They call you a POW in federal prison.
Mm.
I was an actual stamp on my door that said POW.
What is that? Tell the people what that is, Chris.
Prisoner of the warden.
What does that mean?
He would confine you until he feel your influence over any other individual has been eliminated.
Mm.
And once I came in general population, I had the jitteries. I shake when I'm around people. I couldn't trust nobody. That experience got me so strong and mentally now I ain't scared of nothing but myself making a wrong choice now. I realize I know right from wrong because I knew it from day one, right from wrong. Should I follow after? I'm going to give him a shout out, Dirty Dink.
Mm-hmm.
My prime hero growing up, and I'm going to honor him with that. That man drove me crazy and taught me it's about you out here in these streets. And ever since I took that to say this experience, that it molded me to break my neck right now to try to save another child that's growing up on that level right now, to tell them don't ever go in them streets. I don't care what you got to do. It do not pay off, but bring out all the pain that you've been trying to speak about your whole entire life when you couldn't voice your opinion, probably been raped or whatever happened, and you couldn't speak out, or whatever people going through in their household. That cry for just, man, we ain't got no food in our refrigerator. We ain't ate this week. We
And
really
that's
need
still
to hear
real.
people,
That's
man.
still real right
You know,
now
I just
in
wanted
our
to,
community.
me and my friends, I wanted anybody that hung with me for us to be on top and win, and I was willing to die for that. And now I'm willing to die to save a child's life right now, to help them not get in them streets.
Um,
I know me. I feel as if I haven't been doing enough. I always wanted, me and Marie, you and I done had these conversations. How I done came with you to some of these meetings, and try to find my place in that space of grassroots and working towards working to better our community and to be a voice. I haven't felt comfortable until now, to maybe 5 or 6 months ago. To actually speak, I don't even like speaking in front of people. This ain't something that I do.
I know I had to put you in a headlock.
Yeah, no, you didn't. You thought you was going to put me in a headlock. You were surprised when I said. You were surprised when I said I do it, and you were like, "Huh?" Like, yeah, I said I do it. No, because something in me has been changing. I have been doing some inner work because I want to be a better. I'm a granddad now.
Mhm.
I want to be a better granddad. I want to be a better. I got a lady. I want to be a better spouse, and I can't be all. I can't even do that if I don't give back. That's part of it. So
That's real.
I feel the same how you feel. That was like you said something earlier when you said you were somebody would have told you. I just remember when I started dealing with the youth. Do it wasn't even football first. I think I was telling you I was going to the boys club. I was just oh no, matter of fact, I'm lying. It was with your son with Marion when he was at
you
Doris Miller.
I was
And I
out
was going around and we used to have the talks and he was so ahead of his age. And I used to just be like, man, just remember some of these talks. I wish other people would have told me this. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So that was the biggest thing that got me motivated with the youth. So and then, like you say, my story gonna come different from the other coaches. All the coaches gonna tell you they was the best player in the nation. They was this, that, and the third. I'm gonna give you the other story. Man, I quit. I'm gonna give you the. I'm gonna give you the two. I'm gonna give you 2 words. I'm gonna give you 2 words that I said earlier, and I went through the hardest 2 days. And after my first year playing, come back the next year, dumb. Just, had them. My mom don't nobody know I'm drinking, smoking them at 2 days. And then I'm just like, man, fuck it. Once you say fuck it, man, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
listen, man, they had fun on the streets. Everybody want to know what Big Rob doing, this, that, and the third. I'm going where they love me at, man. Fuck this football sweating all day. You know what I'm saying? So and that's just what it is. So and I just remember the one time my oldest brother, he was at Nova State at the time, and I was just like, fuck it. And I remember my mom called and he tried to get from Nova State. He tried to get over here to stop me. But by the time he get here, I already done put my shit in the and I just had pride. I done put my shit together and packed it up. I'm gone. I left it in the locker room. I ain't going back in there no more. And he
yeah,
did try to tell me, but by the time he could get over, my mom told him it was too late. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man.
yes.
So
We
much
all
to
got
say.
a story. It's
Let's talk
perspective.
about too late. So, first of all, before I go there, how do y'all feel about what you all are seeing with the youth today? Is it similar to what y'all were going through, or is this a whole different game?
Different.
Why is it
But
different?
I start with this. I'm gonna just start with this one component to how the game is different. When we had issues back in our days, or certain things need to be done, we had to go see you. We had to go find you. This social media allows shit to be so in heightened and advanced before we even meet. The beef can start, and so many people got say so to add fuel to that fire. And like we said in the beginning, that attention is a motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? So when everybody online, oh, you gonna let him say that, or you ain't gonna, oh, he known to bang them and put once again they put the battery in your back, not they back. They can put the battery in your back so they could be entertained. That's just my piece before I go way deep because there's a lot to say.
How y'all feel about that?
I I I, I feel they many me's, and I did all that for nothing. Also, it it can be checked. It can be put in check once they realize somebody not bullying them or that scared straight program. They don't need that. It is actually it's the same thing. It's just it's being televised now. They getting caught with most of the stuff. It's just
Hold on, Chris. Dominique, Petey, and Kenya. Do you all feel that what the children are doing today is the same as what you all were doing, or if it was different?
Nah, not by far. You know what I'm saying? And in our generation of growing up, we will put out the house, not put out the house, but I'm talking about your mom tell you, yo, you ain't gonna sit in my face all goddamn day and stuff, yo. She made you go outside. You ain't gonna be sitting in
Mm-hmm.
this house doing nothing. She made you go outside, Joe. When I got a little bit older, I can't tell you how many miles I put on my bike, but I was out there. You know what I'm saying? I was out there. I was out there. And then, yo, I wish your motherfucker would say, yo, let's go get some water from your house. Nah, cause you go in the house, my mama might make you stay in. So, and what I say that to say that is that, yo, these people allow their children to stay in the house with them all day. And yo, I can't blame the mother, and I can't blame. I can't blame. I just wish those from our generation as parents now were put back on them, their children, what that was put on them instead of we trying to be best friends with our children and stuff. See, now you got the boys hanging around the mother so damn much, the boys are smacking their lips. They roll in their eyes when they got an issue and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They catch attitude, they arguing, but ain't nothing being done. So you start hanging around a female a lot of times, you start picking up female traits and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So what that builds up a lot of emotion. So that's why they so scared to fight now. You know what I'm saying? They'll talk a good game. You see it on social media, like he said. They'll talk a good game. They want somebody to save them, but it look better when somebody put the batter in their back to make them look good. Because why? They are also followers as well. And if you ever watch these people fight, see, we grew up knucking. We had guns and stuff, but we would fight too. But if you ever see these kids fight these days, I thought they were about to dance and stuff. They be shaking and stuff. And I'm like, what the hell is that? You know what I'm saying? But you had in my time and generation, you had the older people like, go get that. They made you fight. That toughens you up. That builds up all that prevent all that. When I came home from prison, I heard these little boys out here calling each other bitches. I was like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was
man,
different.
That
Dominique,
blew
so
That boogie.
Dominique,
that
you
blew
grew
me.
up in a house. You grew up in a house full of women, and my son also. Well, besides King, but he little. Pee Wee grew up with a lot of women too. How do you when you hear that the emasculation of young men today?
It's
What was
real.
the difference between what y'all got versus what these boys are getting now that are growing up in all female households?
Well, the guys that's growing up in all female households now don't have any structure. The females that's in the house don't have any structure. So
Mm.
therefore, how can they have any structure to be able to go on with their day through their day? You feel what I'm saying? If your mama's a whore, then you gonna be a
Mm.
whore.
Where my
I'm not
pearls
just gonna
at?
call it what
Where
it
my
is.
pearls?
I mean, it's real. Like if your mom out here sucking and fucking everything out here on the street and leave you in the house with your younger boy, your younger brother, and you probably 9, 10 years old, and you raising a 4 or 5 year old. She out here sucking and fucking, going to every club, every bar, in this
Come
nigga
on,
face and
Bishop.
that nigga face, the whole night. Like what you expect for him to do? You know what I mean? You ain't leaving him no food. You ain't even teaching him the basic necessities on how to cook and clean. So he gonna go out here in the streets and do what he got to do to survive for him and his little brother or little sister or what have you. You understand what I'm saying? But to get back to the differences, I concur with what Brother Kenyon said and what Rob said. Like social media heightened things, it put it at 1,000%. Soon as it pop off, it's already at 1,000. Whereas in our day, like I'm gonna keep it real. If my man, if Peter had a problem with somebody, I got a fucking problem with him. Fuck him. That's how I feel because of my loyalty for the niggas that I fuck with. Like, what the nigga ride for my niggas because that's
Yeah,
real.
yeah,
You
yeah.
understand what I'm saying? But it might not even been my problem, or I might not even had anything to do with it. But we gonna go get our man. We ain't gonna let the next nigga get hit, the little kid down the street get hit, the old lady get shot through the door or through the house. We gonna go get our man. You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And then that's gonna be that. We're gonna deal with the consequences, and we're gonna pay a few people, we're gonna get a good lawyer, and we're gonna try to beat it. But these little motherfuckers don't care. They run around with drums. We had
I was
drums. I had
ooh,
drums
you
back
beat
in the
me.
day. Yeah, these
You
little
beat me
motherfuckers
to
got
it.
drums and sticks, and they flogging them Jones all around. It ain't no yo man. I apologize for stepping on your shoe, or I ain't know that was your bitch. I ain't know that. I ain't know. Nah, fuck you. I'm gonna pull this Jones out. I'm gonna go ahead on it and make you prime time on the news later on tonight. You know what I mean? Because I'm a sucker. I can't fight, or I ain't man enough to try to talk this shit, the situation out.
Mhm.
I ain't man enough to do those things because I don't know how. Because my mama and them, they don't know how to do it. So
Mhm.
how the hell can they teach me? They ain't gonna keep a nigga in the house long enough to teach the adolescent on what's real and what's right and what's wrong.
True,
I,
true.
I have a
I,
lived
I,
experience.
oh, go ahead.
I never got to. I never got to speak on the differences.
Go ahead.
I have a lived experience with the differences. So I was fortunate enough to come home in a time to still raise my children. Well, my my second to the youngest son, which is the child that's because my oldest son, my oldest son, he got out there at 14, ended up going upstate. So I had to concentrate on the one that I had, So he was with me a lot. And I had him in football. And he was doing, of course he was struggling. He was being a model kid, like he was any other teenager. And I had a relationship to where it was balanced. They were able to speak to me about things they couldn't speak to their mother or other people. And my son reached out to me and was like, we had to have a conversation because his brothers and cousins, all of them in the streets, and he was the one out of the family that wasn't with none of that, that wasn't in the streets. And I used to have these conversations with him about him just wanting to protect himself and be safe. And we had and it came down to attention and girls. We were talking about the whole little thing. It wasn't about money, it was the gang culture. So I'm specifically talking about this generation and what's going on now. And my son says to me, I was like, why do you need to feel like that? And he was like, well, that's what the girls like, Dad. He's 16.
Damn.
It's not that he done quit football. He was like, I said, huh? He said, yeah, the girls like the shooters. I'm just giving you like this is lived experience. This ain't nothing somebody told me or what I think, And he was a good kid, but in his mind, for him to say that is something that he thought about to where he wanted to be the next motherfucker that these girls like,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
or wanted to be the next motherfucker to get attention. And yes, he was being a follower, but it was a conversation. I'm like, I didn't know how to come. I didn't even know how to combat that conversation because, of course, He's living with me, so I'm living by example. I'm working. I'm going to school at the time. I'm taking him to practice, going to his games, like all that shit. But all the stuff in the background was taking a hold of him, like the shit that his brothers and cousins was into. He go to practice, he got to hear that. All their friends and cousins is at the school where he go to. All that was took part in his decisions and how he, and eventually he got out of here. When he didn't finish school, didn't go to college. He had a bunch of offers. He was doing good. He quit football in 10th grade. I was able to get him across the finish line as far as graduating, but hell, that ain't stop him from dabbling in the streets a little bit because it was all around him. And he had to leave to get out of this shit. And I'm like, don't come back. And I'm mad, and like my grandson just moved with him, and it kind of hurt me, but I was like, shit, it's the best because if my grandson there with him, I ain't got to worry about him coming here to see his son. I want, I go there to see, I go out of town to see him. But I say all to say the differences. The differences is now that it's not a difference. It's the same thing. It's
Right.
attention, it's power.
Right.
It's not necessarily as much money is involved in it, but it's attention and power. And for the boys, it's what the girls like, and for the girls, it's what the boys like. That's why I
Right.
love that documentary I saw somewhere a few years back when they was telling the dudes in Chicago, the women in Chicago, to not give these dudes no fucking pussy. Excuse my language. But that was something that one of the organizers was trying to put into the household of these teenagers and girls in Chicago because that's why they doing it. And I know firsthand. mouth-to-mouth conversation with my boy. And he wasn't into none of that shit. He was a good kid. Rob keep couple. You know what I'm saying? Like Rob know all my children, but that particular kid, even the dudes in the streets be like, damn, Nation was a good kid. Like he wanted a kid that was with none of the bullshit. And I'm just thankful that he was able to get the hell out of here.
When you talk about relocating, and y'all know I'm serious about my children. I play 0 games about any of them. And when I left and went to Tennessee, I had just found out that Pee Wee had started to go out Stewart Gardens. And I'm like, and he was staying with my grandmother because she was older. She wanted somebody there. And I'm like, oh, I can't have you, around certain people, places, and things. And not that we are better, but because I cannot afford him to go to prison. You feel what I'm saying? It's not about being better. It's about protecting. And so I picked up and left Virginia with a 2-month-old and went all the way to Dayton, Tennessee, where it was 8 Negroes in Dayton and 4 of them was in my house. And then when I had to come back here, when Twan had got out of prison, because they wouldn't let him transfer, I was like, we can't go back to Newport News. And that's when we ended up in Chesterfield. And the trajectory of his life, not only his, but, all of the other children, to include Ariane, who mama and father was both in prison at the same time. I got her in the Cornell, got Shakaya through Virginia State, got Pee Wee in the Virginia State, and eventually out. There's things you got to do to make sure that these children are not going that way. But a lot of people can't move. A lot of people don't have those tools in their toolbox or even know how to. And so for folks that are experiencing exactly what, you talked about, what is some advice you give people when you see the children that, your children is fitting to go to the left? What is some of the advice you would give them?
I due to my inappropriate conduct, I didn't neglected all rights to even raise my kids. So only thing from love right now that I have for any individual, I just ask that don't argue with them. That stirs the pot even more. First and foremost, do not argue. Set the ground that you're not their brothers and sisters, and continue to do what's right. And hopefully, as you speak to them and keep them up under you more, they'll stir away. And if it's necessary, you have to relocate. You have to relocate. I mean, it don't make nobody a coward or anything, but relocation just might have to be a must. And then that's still in question, because you can move from one environment right into the heart of an anthill, So it's just unifying your household more, man. Y'all doing more activities, family gatherings together. Stay
I'm gonna tell you
programmed.
another thing I did also, is I made sure that Pee Wee had me in his life. So at the school, I was able to identify, I don't know if y'all know the twins, Kevin and Calvin. When he was at Hines, I was like, that's mine, watch out for him. I had men that watched Pee Wee wherever he went. Even y'all watched Pee Wee wherever he went. And even in college, I had certain men, I went to them and I asked them, can you please watch after my son? And I don't know if women know to do that, or if they even know who to identify to be able to put that responsibility on another man. Because you can't go to Ray Ray and ask him to, to watch after your son, and Ray fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to be able to identify certain men that will take that responsibility. Go ahead.
That goes back to like what Dominique was saying earlier, and it was said on a couple of shows we had earlier. When you had those, like you say, they got to be able to identify. First, they got to be able to identify that they know these kids do need men in their life. When you have the mother saying that he don't need a male figure, he don't need this, you making the problem 10 times. Hey, listen, I be trying to hold my tongue sometimes, but that making it 10 times worse. And then here's the biggest thing from my point of view. This for the parents, the us up here that's part of the youth that's helping out with these foundations, it's consistency. These kids ain't
Mm.
dumb. They can tell when you pop up for the fucking cameras and to show these pictures and to do whatever, and then you gone. And they don't see you till it's another camera, another event to get your little grants and your funds to make it look. They not dumb. You got to be consistent. If you talk to me in January and then I don't see you again to November till they doing the food drive, I'm gonna listen to nothing you talking about, man. You know what I'm
Can't even
saying?
respect you.
You don't even know me. You know what changed since then? You know what I'm saying? So we got to be consistent. We got to be involved. And granted, you can't be. We all got lives. We all got different things. It's different ways, man. Whether you just listen, man. These kids just want to see you care. Whether you making phone calls, a text message, you do a group chat, you see them every blue moon. All that little shit matter, and they remember that, bro. I'm getting why didn't call that name? I'm getting notes and letters and stuff from the kids in jail and just be like, there's a couple of them that played, man, I wish I would have listened. Like, so much stuff you said, y'all was always on me. And that's why I listen. And I can say this, prime example. I use my brother, and I just say him and his child mother just but my brother. My nephews, if you met them, you wouldn't even know they was raised. Right now, they in the number streets. But before, they was raised all the way downtown. And if you meet my nephews, you would have no idea because my brother was consistent. He talked to him. He made sure it's an understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be involved. And you got to lay down the foundation. This is what it is. You got to lay down some boundaries. Got to be some structure. And you still can have fun. But I'm daddy. When I'm daddy, you know when I'm daddy. When we chilling and we have fun, that's what it is. You got to lay down different structures. Everybody want their kids to be their friends and to have all the shit they didn't have, but they ain't telling them nothing about knowledge and things that they need to succeed out here. And actually, we fucking them up. We throwing them to the wolves. That's what we doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, you can't. You definitely. It's not mistaken. It's not like off camera or before camera. Me and Marie had a conversation. They got a little testy, but
That's her, man.
you cannot deny the family structure.
Y'all stop talking about me.
And look, I'm just saying you can't deny the family structure and what it means to these children. Like that.
That's right.
That it's absolutely
That's facts. That is
That's
facts.
important.
And me as a
Important.
mother, and I know the ladies about to be mad at me. They're gonna be like, this raggedy bitch. Listen, you better find the best man that you can find to be around those children. I'm telling you, it is added value that you just can't do. And don't be mad. It won't fall. How about this, ladies? That wasn't for us to do.
Exactly.
That wasn't for us to do. If it's the principal, the goddamn, I don't know, the football coach, get that child a man. And not only just, and you got to be careful.
Start with the daddies. Start with the daddies.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna just say, for example, and there's one person I want to say that is not on this panel today, and I want to give a shout out to my son's father, Antoine Branch, who is also out there, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he becomes. You know, I'm just really praying for him. But anyway,
We all are.
King got listen. When I tell y'all about a village, right? King don't even know the type of men that because he's only just turned 10 this month. But King is surrounded by men. He don't have to worry about. He got all of y'all. He got, it's people up here that have invested in Pee Wee. When the father is not there, and Antoine love his kids, but he's not here. Okay. He not here. My son still need to have men, and I need it.
Say that one more time. Say your son need what?
Men.
Say it one more time. I ain't make sure my phone.
Shut up.
No, man, you gotta say that shit with your chest. You say anything else with your chest.
But here goes, I need it. to have men that I could call and say, Dominique, Petey, Chris, King, Rob, look, my son, if he go to the left ever, I'm calling y'all. I'm gonna sit over here with my arms folded. I'm be like, oh, I got something for you.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't my job.
Just like that, the mother, the whole thing, the whole circle is important. The father, the mother, the love, the care, the respect, all those things are important in the growth and in the development of these children. And that's why I don't pinpoint no particular parent or situation. It's all necessary. The love,
You need it all.
The uncle that's a good role model. I heard somebody keep saying the word village, and it's necessary. That's why I'm here. That's why that's why I'm here, because I'm usually not one to talk, but I know that I want to do some work that's meaningful. And Marie, through you, because I know you're the organizer, I'm here if you need me. I told you that the other day. Whatever you need, I'm available.
We gotta put some shackles on their ass. No, just
but no, because I want to be one of those men that you just spoke of. To other
listen,
people as well.
Certainly.
To other people as well. I know I'm there for you. I know you can call me, but I want other people to know they can call me as well.
And that's like what we build it. And that is exactly what it is that we are building right now. And there's a lot more community members that we gotta, get. And there gotta be a way that we do this. Y'all know that I am I kind of rule with an iron fist. For my organization, Chris will tell you, I play 0 games with them. We were supposed to be honored on the General Assembly floor Friday. And I told my organization, I said, absolutely not, because one of our members had missed the meeting, right? I said, hell no, we ain't going up there. And most folks will be like, oh, I'm putting on my Sunday best, we going. No, when we talk about we exemplify excellence and we want these children to really be able to have people that they can count on, that's the shit that I'm talking about. Like, these children need, because the parents may not be there. You know what I'm saying? They could be in jail or they could die. Anything can happen. But these kids need to know that people love them out here, and there's folks that's going to show up and show out for them regardless. And it's important, and they need to know that they got people that have already went down the road that you either trying to go down or you fitting to go down, and they about to tell you what's fitting to happen. They're gonna give you the whole blueprint, because what I've seen, and I've been watching a lot of the stuff that's going on out here, the truth is not being told, and we having a symposium coming up in May. The truth is not being completely told about this jail shit and how it works, how it goes down, who's gonna do what, and we gonna put it in living fucking color for y'all. Excuse my language. So these children will know exactly. You ain't gonna have no excuse. We gonna tell you how they coming, who coming, what you gonna get. We gonna have you looking at your friend. And that was Twan calling in there. We gonna have you looking at your friend that you're not gonna be friends with no more, because Officer Ricky done already told him to tell what he knew, because Officer Ricky already knew anyway. But they didn't told him he about to get life or that whatever you're gonna tell him. We telling all of this because we don't want that life for you, and baby, you don't want it for yourself. It ain't nothing glorifying about prison. We see the old ones get out. Yeah, I done did, 50 years, or I had double life, to try to hype it up. That is not the way that we should be pushing that narrative. I had one guy told me, he said, oh, you're not formally incarcerated because you didn't make it to DOC. You done lost your rabbit ass mind to put that type of narrative out here for these children to have a barrier to cross.
Who said
that? An idiot.
I forgot the nigga name. He's so irrelevant that
that's crazy.
One of the DC nigga, I forgot his Khalil, whatever his name. Nobody.
Right,
and so, but he didn't even realize that he was setting a bar for children to say that unless you get here, you ain't nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And we gotta.
But those are people we're allowed to talk to our kids. You just throw your kids in front of anybody.
Come on, Robert. Come on, Robert.
I'm
don't say it.
Nah, Because
No, but
I
that's
don't like to talk a lot, but I get going sometimes.
but that's
If
why
we go, listen, if we're
That's
gonna
where
restore, I'm gonna tell y'all this: if we're gonna restore our community, we got to be the ones to do it, and we got to be like grandmama. You remember we'll say that, like I know that
Chris, don't
Petey
forget what you was
mama
about to
was
say. Look
one of
like
the
you was about to
ones.
say
My
something
mama, one of
good.
the mamas that will say whatever. She don't care who it is. She gonna say what she need to say with your friends there or not. We
Well, let
gotta
me
be
put
them. We gotta be the ones.
let me
And
put it
it's
out
not
there.
about hurting folks. It's about the truth and what
Yeah.
we need.
Well, yo, let me put it out there, yo, because, yo, I ain't afraid of none of these niggas and all these other shit, because, yo, it's a lot of motherfuckers out here on this social media acting like they for the kids, but they really ain't. They talking that talk like they was built like that. Well, when they was in prison with us, them niggas were straight bitches and shit, yo. But there's a lot of niggas out here on different platforms popping that shit that didn't really live that life, but they feel like just because they was in prison, they got some type of branded a shield like they was going hardcore. But there was a lot of niggas that's out here that was in there slurping and burping, but coming back out here putting a few tattoos on themselves and shit, acting like they was built like that. So yo, that go right back to what he said about who you
It's
willing to
like
put your children in front of to talk to them if you don't know the real history on them niggas and shit, yo? Because a lot of them niggas that's out here doing that talking, all they doing is talking and tickling ears. But yo, they didn't really live a life. There was a lot of them that got locked up just because they was being followers and flunkies. They was the motherfucking chips and blunt, man. That's the type of motherfucker you hang with the boss niggas, and the boss niggas sent them to the corner store to get the chips and blunts. And then they happen to fall in, but all of a sudden now they home because they did time. They want people to look at like they tough. But when they was in prison,
it was different.
and I want to say,
it's
I'm glad
different.
you
Let
said
me
that,
say this real
Ken.
quick. Let me say this real quick, Marie. And you touched on something, bro. I've been trying. Listen, like you say, it's a lot of people using these kids as the platform. And Marie can tell you, I say this all the time. That's the new drug right there. They pushing these kids like, wait, man. You know what I'm
Come
saying?
on.
They could use it to throw a picture here, throw a picture there, do this, get these funds, get these. Man, listen, man, they learning the paperwork and they're using all this bullshit. They're pushing the kids like, wait, they don't give a fuck. That's why we got to be accountable for when you have events. Now, granted, like we said, everybody ain't gonna give it to everybody, and everybody don't have to be on the same
We ain't got to agree
sort of
on
sort.
everything.
Exactly, it's different. It's more than one way to skin the cat. But
Right.
if we skinning the cat, we skinning the cat.
But laws,
So,
I want to say this before I forget. We
Wait.
don't have to agree on everything, but one thing I want anybody that I do any kind of work with to know that we need to be in agreement that these kids come first. Other than
Come
that,
on.
I don't
That
need to
part.
do it.
That part. But I want, because a lot of people may not. How long have I been out here, y'all?
Damn.
For a minute.
Oh,
You've been
wow.
out
Talking
this
about doing the
long.
work.
You've
How
been out
long
here
have I been
20
out here
plus
in
years.
these
Over
streets?
20 years.
Oh,
Over
wow.
20 years.
You had
You've
me.
been out
You
here
had me.
20
You had
plus
me going
years.
to these meetings. That was over 10 years ago. That was 10 years ago.
And so, like,
how long was the spot? How long was the spot?
that was 2011. And that's when I ran for city council in the after hour spot.
Oh yeah,
That shit
you
crazy.
sure did.
Before there was any
Bad
money
motherfucker.
attached, I was out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? And so
The work just
folks
got
need to
done.
understand that whether there's money or not, and Justice Reform Network gonna be here regardless. Because we always have been here. You feel me? We always have been here. And we don't rely on funding to do what we supposed to do for our community anyway.
Go ahead,
We
Chris.
understand that we are the currency.
All right.
Right now, the dedication real, and I'm making it clear. Like I said, I'm honestly willing to. Bruh be telling me don't talk death on myself, but I'm actually putting my life on the line to try to get back to these kids and get them in a sense of direction of programming them like the penitentiary gonna do when they get them in there. They're gonna program when they go to the penitentiary. So why we can't try to program them out here? That's the crazy thing. So I'm saying it to say, man, my gas bill off right now. I've been going to somebody else's house to wash my ass. But I'm using that money right now with the help of Procura to host an event Tuesday for Black History Month for the kids so they can do vision boards and stuff. I've been going around.
Tuesday
I've been
and Wednesday.
Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday, we're going to be in Petersburg. And it's a shame that I'm with Procure Help, busting my ass to really do whatever, because the kids, man, I owe it to some dead father's child. I owe it to dudes out and put in jail childs. I owe it to everybody to say we was in this web, bro, and we already passed the point of destruction. So somebody got to take all the heat and hold that pressure, man, to say, man, follow this route. And I'm saying it to say we have to put value in our kids at a young age and let them know that they really mean something, and let them see somebody willing to die for them, so they know that, man, this is the person I need to be listening to. It ain't lying to me. And that's the guidance they want, because they seeing so much fake stuff, man. And I've been I ain't promoting death on myself, man, but it is what it is, man.
I know what you're saying, bro. But listen, I just say this: you saying the right thing, and it ain't even got to go as the deep as the dab part. They just need to see somebody that's
what
gonna.
I'm saying is
I know what you're saying. They need somebody that's gonna have. They need somebody that's gonna have their back and fight for them, though. You know what I'm saying?
I see something totally different. So I'm saying it to say this: we're in a politician state right now. This politics was going on. Yeah. It's big politics, and the line that I'm drawing right now, it's going to expose everything. And a lot of dudes I'm fucking with their finances. It's a war. It's a war, and it ain't about the money. They want the money. I want new children. I want new development and birth and mental states of our kids, right? People using money right now to control the mental state of our kids. We dealing with poverty. And the only way you can guide somebody out of poverty is giving them money. They took the love out of getting somebody to follow them. People used to just feel a decent hug and they attached to you. Now it's, oh, you got some money? Now they coming to just like you do a puppy.
As they say, the bag.
You feel me? So now what's going to take place is we're going to do away with all this money, and we're going to bring some real life love to these children. And it's a shame that we got to deal with children under 11 years old, because the 11-year-olds, they up in that gun now. I just seen one.
And I want to say this, Chris, right quick. Two things. A, we're not glorifying prison.
Exactly,
and
man.
We're not saying that people who have been to prison are the only ones that's credible. We're just telling. I just wanted them to tell their story so that the children that are going that way or that went that way or that are in it know that they got somebody that they can talk to, who they can relate to. But who these men are today is not who they were back then. They would not trade their life in right now for their yesterdays. You know, these men took and let me say this too. Let me say, every last one of these men on this panel have always been intelligent. It won't nothing ever stupid about these men. Ever. I went to school with all of them, with the exception of Chris. Nothing stupid about these men. And it ain't and to do the things that they did, you couldn't have been anyway. But we want these children's minds because they are brilliant. These kids.
That's the question.
How
do we get their mind? You understand what I'm saying?
We gotta
Muhammad said
them,
you gotta speak the language of the people that you're trying to get the message
part
across to. So I think the biggest thing is how do we intrigue these children to want to do better or to want to have a better life? Because
I'm gonna tell you what a
lot of them ain't up here listening to these podcasts and stuff like that.
And they not coming to these programs either. I'm gonna tell you how we gonna get them.
They parents.
First of all, like Robert said, these children have to know that you in it for the long haul.
Right.
You cannot bob and weave these kids. You cannot here today and I don't see you except for the event. Or you, because they'll see you got this program, but where the money going to? We see you got a Benz. We see you tripped out.
Right.
We see you, but the investment in the community, we see you got a street named after you. We see you got a community center named after you. But the investment has to be there, and it has to be consistent. And that's what we have not had in the city of Newport News, and that's probably what has not been there in a lot of the cities when we talk about folks that can relate to these children. Because guess what? Y'all got to work. Y'all work. Every last one of y'all. Every last one of y'all motherfuckers work 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Every last one of y'all do.
I
And
gotta
so,
get up at 1
I
o'clock
slept in the
now to
house.
get the road.
look,
I slept
Dominique
in the
about to
house. I
fall
was
asleep
trading on
right the
Christmas.
fuck now. Dominique ready to go to bed right now. But I'm gonna
I
tell
been
you,
up at 1.
we have to strategize. We got to get together and we have to strategize. And those of us who got the time, we gotta move like clockwork. And so we take this in shift work. We gotta write letters. We gotta say, I told my organization, I said I need an hour, 1 hour from y'all every day. Imagine if these kids got 1 hour. Some of these children ain't getting paid attention to no minutes a day. But 1 hour with all the adults that we got that's saying that's doing this work, we would reach everybody, and not only just the at-risk youth. We're gonna reach all the youth, because remember, I wasn't an at-risk youth. I was not. But my ass got caught up the fuck out there anyway. This was not, my life was not supposed to be what it was, and it killed me till I turned 38. And because I was suffering with depression, bipolar disorder, because I had failed myself, because I was supposed to be this big time lawyer. I never wanted kids. I wanted to change the world, and I had a fucking plan, man. I had a plan. But nobody knew that children that made honor roll all needed structure and support too. They figured that because they made honor roll, they was good. And they failed me. They failed me.
Now I want to say something off what you just said right there.
Still changing the world, though.
So I want exactly. But like Dominique said, to what Dominique said, how do we get them? Like you said, one thing, you got to be able to relate to them, and this, that, and the third. The main thing we got to do is we keep going in wanting to do all the fucking talking. We got to let them talk to tell us what's going on with them, what
That's
they
right.
see wrong, how we can say, let them, that's communicating. They got to talk. If you keep talking at somebody, eventually that shit sound like Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah. You coming in, he coming in, they coming in. Let them have the floor one time. You
Yeah.
believe if we get them the floor one time and let them address us with their problems, how they think it could be done. Not saying it's right or wrong, but that allows them to open up to feel accepted. Now they
That's
feel
right.
like they're a part of it instead of just being
Robert,
talked to. You know what I'm saying?
when we did a survey,
And you
that
keep
was
on
the
calling me
number
Rob,
one
but I'm gonna call your
response.
ass up, Rob.
That was the number one response, is children said that they did not feel listened to.
Exactly.
That was
That's
the
why
number one. They didn't have nobody to turn to. They didn't feel listened to. It didn't feel listened to. And parents that don't know how to do this, they need to go and seek out help too. Parenting is hard. You may not know how to relate to your child or know how to deal with this and this issue. That's why the village is important. So you can have somebody you can go. People got to be able to tell the truth about it. Tell the truth about your fucking situation. Be like, I don't know how to get to Johnny or Keisha. I don't know what to do so somebody can help.
Accountability, man. You know,
But
if
you
you
want to
got
be the best mama. You want to, I'm the best mom of the year or the best with.
Marie,
if you ain't right in the brain, the daddy ain't right in the brain, and all this need to be brought to the table. And I don't want to use certain words, but we need to know little Johnny need a little special attention instead of
Okay.
you want to say he normal. Cut that shit out, man. He gonna get the same. We gonna work
We
with him.
see he ain't normal. That don't mean he don't deserve everything that everybody else get, but we gotta know what he needs.
I knew
Marie,
this was dog.
Marie.
We need to know he needs 2 pads in his helmet.
And you got to look at it, man. Listen. So and once, like I said before, they cut all that No Child Left Behind, all this. So now everybody blended in. Oh, it's just crazy. But go ahead. Somebody was saying,
Petey
peace.
was
Somebody.
about to say something.
I was just telling Marie to just make sure, you keep me up to date on things. And I'm off on the weekends, contrary to what you said. And I don't got my grandkids here no more with me. So I got a little bit more free time.
I'm weak.
But no,
It's not, and it's not. I
know you
want
up
folks
there.
to understand that it's not just our at-risk children that need help.
I agree with that.
It's all these children is living through hell. The schools is fucked up right now. And for those of you all who do not know, this year's General Assembly, we had to vote on a bill that said that the minimum age for a child to be tried and convicted for a felony is 11 years old, and it passed.
Damn.
And the reason why it was 11 years old, because prior to this bill, there was no minimum age, and the youngest that was arrested and charged was 6 years old. And so the agreement to have bipartisan support was 11 years old. And so now children can be tried and convicted of a felony at 11 years old. And so we say, well, what does that mean? Because we know that at 11, you just in 5th grade or going to the 6th grade. You
Ain't
in
taking
the
that
beginning
shit.
of middle school, right? And so there's a lot of things that you do not know. Hell, it's hard for an adult to go through a criminal trial. And so when we talk about competency, these children have not gotten the brunt of what they're getting. This system is we talk about voter disenfranchisement. So at 11 years old, they already gone, they out of the system. They're not voting at 18. If they're going to certify them, they can certify them at 11 as an adult. So now they're not voting. They're completely out of the system. We know that we're disproportionately affected by the judicial system. And so we know whose children they're coming for, right? And so I've been trying to talk to my people about the protections that you need to have for your children. Every Black child should have a 504 plan. I said it again. Let me say it one more time.
What is that?
Every Black child should have a 504 plan. Please set aside the stigmas around special education. A 504 plan is a special education plan that your child will have to give them additional accommodations, whatever that may be. Like all of my children got 504 plans. So they got accommodations. If they miss an assignment, they get additional time on the assignment. If they got a test, they get additional time for testing. They get to wear headphones. They just get a different accommodations. And what the 504 plan does, and this is at the lowest level because the next level is the IEP, it gives them federal protections under the Americans with Disabilities Act under Section 504. So what does it, you say, well, what does that mean, Bakira? So say your child has ADHD or whatever, is talkative. Most of the time they will write your child up and send your child out of class for saying that they're disruptive. The 504 plan doesn't allow them to do that. They have to acknowledge that that is a manifestation of their disability. And so now they cannot classify your child as disruptive because we know they're making sales for our children starting in the 3rd grade. So even when it comes down to them getting into fights and things like that and suspensions and expelling, there's different rules and regulations for our children under the 504 plan. And the reason why we need to have one is because we know that they already coming after our children. So any other additional special federal protections that we can get, we need to have it. And luckily, Trump has not came after the Americans with Disabilities. So please get your child a 504 plan. And so when they, might miss a day and miss the test and the teacher want to act ignorant and be like, oh, you ain't retaking it. Oh, yes, little Johnny is retaking it. And ain't nothing you can do about it, Miss Johnson. Go and get that test out.
So this is
was designed, it's a method that they designed for the little special white kids to get pushed through school. And for us to be so uneducated with things, man, all this stuff went over our head. Half of us done, all us supposed to have that coming up.
And I've been trying to tell people forever, but I'm not the popular one, so nobody listens to
a lot of things here to change. Now,
I even had one for Pee-wee when he went to college. You can't have an IEP in college, but you can have a 504 plan, which protects your child from getting flunked out. Shakaya struggled like fuck her first 2 years of college. They was about to put her out. I was like, oh, no, we not. Y'all gonna do this individual specialized education plan. And it allowed her to get certain additional times and tutoring. They've had to provide tutoring and everything else. And after we implemented it, she was on the National Honor. She graduated with honors after we was able to do that. So it gives you it gives you so much stuff, for your children.
Send me a link when you get a chance.
You said a link to the 504 plan?
Yeah.
I'll send you the ADA information about it, but you just ask the school. You tell them, listen, I want a meeting to set up a 504 plan, and they'll ask you, and I'm giving y'all. Let me put my glasses down. I'm giving y'all some game, okay?
I'm listening. So, I got grandkids. I'm all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I got 3 kids on my team. Soon we get out of this call, I'm about to call right now. I got some current.
Listen, every child and adult, and whether you want to believe it or not, has ADHD. Yeah. Everybody has it. And so use that to your advantage. And I'm not gonna say what I'm getting ready to say. Go to the school, tell them you want the 504 paperwork. You take it to your doctor. You tell your doctor, yeah, my child is kind of hyper, whatever, or not hyper, whatever you need to tell them. Get the form, have them fill it out, and then turn it back into the school, and then they'll set your meeting up so that you can get and you get to get whatever accommodations you want. They don't get to tell you what they're going to give you. You tell them what you want for your child. And if you need assistance, I'm here. Y'all got my Facebook page. You can inbox me. I will be a part of your child's special education team. If you need help navigating through that, I will be that person. I also got a Dr. Candace Lucas. She got her PhD in educational law. She is my child's educational power of attorney. We plays no games with these folks at all. And so that's a part of the village too, having that information. Also, when your child gets stopped by the police, just because they have a 504 plan that is attached to their school, guess what? It's attached to them outside of the school. And so if the police fuck with your child and fuck your child up and ain't asked about none of that shit, they ass in fucking trouble with the federal government because your child is federally protected 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So they ask, how do we get back with our children? First, we got to show them the ultimate support system, because every day they go to school dealing with an issue. All day. They don't have no voice, man. No voice. The mental is all the way destroyed because they was molded by somebody whose mental was already destroyed. So we got to buckle down and deal with this with love, man.
So people got to be honest and get the help that they need. That 504 plan also give you counselors, accountability counselors. I asked for one because earlier was having problems turning in her work. She'll do it, but it'll be in her book bag. King do the same shit. And, I got a counselor for that. I was like, y'all need to go in her book bag every day and pull out whatever assignments.
We might have to do a little 5-minute video just on that 504. That's some very important shit.
Yeah, and then we
can't let that fly. We can't let that fly. That one is huge. Yeah. Fuck that. I'm gonna.
That might need a whole That might need a whole segment, Rob. Real rap. Yeah, it might need it every once a month, so because it can reach the mass of people.
We learn different anyway.
Right.
You know when you used to get slapped by your mama, slap the shit out by your mama? Like real shit. Like put a slap so hard that it seemed like something just shifted.
I remember them
that
days.
Right there was messing up our mental as children right there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then they was putting us on this medicine also. And then
I want to say this about the medicine. Because they will give your child medicine. But when in third grade they gave her Leah Ritalin, I told them I wasn't gonna give it to her. And what I did for her is I changed the colors in her bedroom and took a lot of the stuff out. And she ended up making honor roll that very next semester. So you still gotta watch your child and see what it is that they're doing. And a lot of this you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention to. But the IEP part is if you know that your child has, some issues, you definitely want to get that IEP because that's even more protection when you got that. But let's go back to y'all. We'll do something on that. And hopefully or maybe we got to give it to the popular people to do because, don't nobody fuck with Bakira like that. But anywho.
But that's like you said, let's fuck all that popular shit. Fuck all that. Fucking Rob, man. Listen. That 501, that 504, we could do, like you say, a little video, or that shit could have a little sit down class to talk about.
Right.
That shit huge, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just can't keep stressing that enough because like it's huge. That's all.
It take pressure off the parents as well, man.
A lot.
Right.
A lot.
We gotta show them love, man. It's about the love. It's about how do we restore order in the homes. They got control of our homes. They got control of our homes, and we don't even know that the system is. Oh, the Matrix. He said what was the man's name? Mr. Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, bro.
If you know how to maneuver in the system, it takes a lot of the edge off. And me who travel a lot, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not able to be there a lot with my children. And so I put things in place so that they don't miss out on things because I'm traveling doing a lot of the stuff. And then, I got Pee Wee, he's still in, he went back to college, but he helps a lot. But there's things that even is a bit much for him with early. And so I have somebody else that's there that helps. And so as much help as we can get, and they owe us, get your reparations. Listen, why y'all waiting for a check when y'all can start getting y'all reparations now? I done probably got my check already because I get everything from them. Everything. Free seeds, everything.
It's resources. Just like I didn't know about the 504. A lot of people don't know. These resources need to be shared.
I ain't know about Bakura, and I gotta thank Dominique, man.
And thank you, Dominique. Thank you, Dominique.
Dominique say with the little, I got a mustard seed brain, y'all. She been blooming this joint now. Like she tell me this. I always feel like I ain't doing something right. I ain't speaking right. She say, keep speaking. Keep just say what you saying. And I'm saying it to say to you, Rob, you was biting your tongue a lot. When we get to the point where we feel like we biting our tongue, that's where the love starting to come in at. You ain't offending nobody. Yep. When we get that state of mind that we doing something wrong, that's where the love locks up at. Because we don't know love. Yeah. But anytime you opening your mouth to anybody, they supposed to value your oxygen that you're providing. Because you might need that oxygen as you get older.
It's funny you say that when we say we don't know love. Because a lot of times, I was talking to Petey one day, and he said people don't understand you that they get you messed up but it's love what you giving folks because I'm stern. It is what it is.
As hell.
Yeah. But it is all love because I know what these people is doing to y'all. It pains me to watch my people get fucked up in front of my face. And I'm like, I tried to tell you, XYZ, but y'all rather go eat hot dogs at the Bobby's or get a fucking book bag at the fucking whatever it is when I'm trying to give y'all these goddamn jewels that's gonna keep you safe.
Well, when you're dealing with the truth, you got to work a little harder for to make them to get it. We always know that they're gonna fall for the bullshit.
Well, I'm here. I'm glad. I'm thankful that you asked me to be here. Now I don't regret spending this time with you guys, man, because I'm feeding my soul with this podcast today. But
yeah, you and Dominique. I got you, Dominique, and then Kenyon ass and Robert, and we about to get off topic a little bit. I done told Robert and Kenyon, I'm gonna do your fucking 504 plan. They done been bullshitting for 2 years.
504 or 504?
I mean, excuse me, your 501. See, all of its protections. 501c3 ain't neither one of you asses. Then Dominic and Petey, I've been trying to get their ass out here. That's been about 8 years. Like,
I had to
what
grow.
in the world?
But look, like I said though, me and Petey was talking yesterday. One of them days we were talking like late. We gonna sit down and chop it up with you anyway. We got to sit down and do some chopping up. Whether we come up to the store whether I get his ass one Saturday, we gonna come up to the store. So we gonna sit down. We gotta do some chopping. You know, I said I come up that way anyway. We gonna do some chopping it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because it's gonna take all of us and a lot more, and we got to get these children. It's children that's already ready that can be ambassadors. Chris is coming out with a bullying intervention program where he's gonna have bullying ambassadors. Like he gonna train each other. They're gonna be bullying ambassadors. He is not He giving the kids the game so they don't have to worry about bullying. They're gonna know what to do. They're gonna have options. Like they're gonna be they're getting a certification as a bullying ambassador to stop bullying in schools. And it's gonna be, man, this man got a vision that I'm so glad that everybody else threw Chris ass away. I'm so motherfucking glad they said his snitching ass couldn't play with the reindeer game.
I got so much to offer the world and our people, man. I'm happy for you, bro.
I appreciate it, but it's a shame that, all jokes aside, it's a shame that we got to fall on our feet or sit in that penitentiary to wake up, man. And half of us still don't wake up because we come out here so depressed and financially disabled that we go back to what we only know, and we got to break that cycle. We have to break that cycle, and it's just mandatory we start really extending our hand out and lifting somebody up just by a good word of advice, man. Just by a good word of advice. Plain simple, because for real, everybody gave up on me, man. And when Dominique, man, introduced me to Bakir, man, I ain't eat that night. Dominique, man, I appreciate you, but I gotta tell you, man, you broke me down, bro. I ain't eat that night. I cried. I said, man, I finally found somebody that listened to me, man, and I appreciate you listening to me, Dominique. I meant what I said, man, and a child running around just like that right now. Need somebody to really listen to them, man, and we got to start investing in our children's vision. When we hear a child say what they want to do, we just can't say, oh, you gonna be out. No, put their ass on that shit right now. That's what you want. Guess what? Program. Because once they get in these jails, they're gonna follow a fucking program.
Damn sure is. They ain't got no choice.
So let's program them out here. I swear. Jigga said he took the dope game to the rap game. How much he worth right now? How educated do he seem right now? If we take the prison life and bring it into the street, we restore order just by having patience and listening and pushing them in the direction they want by prioritizing their life.
And that's the Operation Snatchback, right? Not letting them go. A lot of people you hear them pushing re-entry. We push no entry.
No
like
entry.
we ain't our shirt's gonna say don't go to prison. Like no nonsense. We really don't want you to have to go there. And and we don't and they don't have to. If we all doing what it is that we supposed to do, and we got a workforce development training that we are working toward. We just got so much stuff that we work, but we're doing that so that our not only our youth but our adults can have these certifications and these high-paying jobs so that they will they'll be all right. But I want to go back right quick because we keep talking about these children, but I want to talk about these retarded ass adults too. We got.
I just want to say this before we get too far.
We got
about 10 minutes.
Go ahead, Rob.
I'm just saying we can talk. I got about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna have to haul ass. But come on.
Okay, we got problems in Newport News right now, and we know that we're not gonna sit up here and act like And when I say we, I'm talking about everybody, that even ones that ain't even on this podcast act like we don't know what the fuck division we got in our city right now, right? And if we gonna get to these children, you can't fake it. You can't be, and we ain't saying everybody gotta like each other, but I am saying everybody gotta love each other. Because the system hate everybody, every last one of us, that they gonna take every last one of us. So we gotta love each other more than we hate the system, right? And that's gonna take all of us work. I don't ever want to see, if there is a problem with two men, big grown men or women, at this stage where we ain't going back to the penitentiary, we not shooting each other no more, why ain't no conversations being had about whatever it is, the fuck that didn't happen or whatever else? I ain't saying it gotta be squashed, but it gotta be some mutual fucking understanding about how we gonna maneuver out here, because like we said, the children is watching. And if we in a particular place and a child happen to see you looking, funny or whatever the case may be, we done lost the trust we done lost their trust already. You know what I'm saying? And so what we want to teach these children is that you ain't gonna like everybody. It's absolutely impossible. I don't like my damn self sometimes. But there is a way that we gonna do this work together, because if we do not, the system is gonna continue to eat our fucking asses up.
Brief note, so everybody know on the broadcast that's looking or whatever. Any man, woman want to go to prison in 2025, they indulging in homosexuality. They indulging in drug
Come on.
use. They
Come on.
want free room and board.
Come on.
And they just want to sleep all day.
Yeah.
They want to escape their realities, man, their responsibilities. So anybody going to jail and acting out and to go to jail right now, that's what they dealing with. Don't think they ain't dealing with it. And they're gonna pimp you out your money, because they're gonna keep calling you for money, asking to buy a suit, buy a bag of soup. If them the people y'all want to deal with and indulge with, that's y'all stupidity, man.
Because I
Change
ain't
your
going back.
nouns. They taught you
I ain't
this in
going back.
school. They taught you in school, change your nouns, person, places, and things.
Man.
Imply that
And
shit right now and mature up, man.
Man, that's definitely been my recipe for freedom and rehabilitation and
Plain
some other
simple.
things. Yeah. People, places, and things, man.
Change it. Change
So
it.
I
Go
know
back
Rob
to the
said he
struggle.
gotta go. I want to ask each of you all, what was your turning point? Because when you come home from prison, you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a few people who came home who won't, but in reality, the reality of coming home from prison, you fucked up. What did you tell yourself that you stuck to, that you said you were not going back? And you stuck to that. What was it?
I said first, so I mean maybe I could break the ice on everybody. When I realized I was in a predicament where I had to cooperate with fellow authorities in order to see my freedom again or never come home, because I would have had to kill somebody in prison so I wouldn't get killed for cooperating, I said, if I ever made it out here, man, ain't no going back. I'm gonna be the best straight walking motherfucker. You gonna think I'm gay? I'm walking so straight, like straight line. I'm like legs crossed, walking straight.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no straddling the fence or anything. So once I realized I was mentally beat and defeat, found somebody that's tougher than me, all reality set in, man. I got to do what's right. Ain't no more wrong. Do what's right. Suffer with however God bless me with the conditions I got to deal with. It's a sacrifice. And the sacrifice was I was growing up immature with no sense of direction when I knew right from wrong and I chose to do wrong. Now I'm on a straight line now that I realized that. Ain't no going back to prison. And I don't want nobody else to go back.
Who next?
Well, for me, I think it was more so I had a conversation with whatever title you want to put on it, God, um, um, Jehovah, Jesus, whatever. I had a conversation with that supreme being, and all of the things that I knew I was doing fucked up in the world and on the streets, I told him that if he granted me my freedom, that I would no longer do those things. And I don't remember if I told him if I fuck up, gonna take me away from here. But um, the gist of it was, if you grant me my freedom, I'm gonna walk the righteous path that I started out on first before I allowed the streets to take me
Swallow.
or swallow me up. Yeah, and I started off on a good path, real good path, but one thing led to another. Financial situations got fucked up, and I felt like that was the only choice I had. So I felt if I came home to stay out of to stay out of prison, if I take myself out of that element, meaning I could be still living in Newport News, but for the most part, other than these last 3-4 years, I have been in Newport News, but I stayed constantly moving. Moving meaning working every day, putting all my time and effort into building myself to be a better person. And long as I stayed focused on that movement, that allowed me not to go back to prison. And thus far, it's been working for me. It's been working for me, and just building myself. That's it. It ain't hard. It's not a hard thing. It can be a hard thing, but if you don't change your mentality or your mindset or want something better out of life, you going back. It ain't too much to it. You going back.
Well,
It's too easy.
I know that the reality is we all one bad decision away from going to jail.
Come on.
Or somebody else's bad decision from going to jail. And I
Or
say
dead.
it. So I say it to say. Um, there was no one thing. There was a lot of things. There was children. There was family members. Whatever the case may be. So in order for me, I know for me, I'm only gonna speak for me personally. For me, because I got one of those minds that should just be running. I had to constantly be learning and grabbing information, so I won't do nothing else. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had to constantly be learning. Like I'm constantly getting certifications, constantly going to school, trying to start a business in the midst of working.
Stand
That's
moving.
yeah. I'm keeping myself occupied and stay positive and do because at the end of the day, a lot of people, a lot of youth, they run to that because of resources and not having the information. And adults too. So long as I'm giving myself the information or the resources, like you, Marie, like the 504, like that's information, that's resources. That's the type of things that I've been doing since I've been home to keep myself from going back to jail.
Kenya.
Well, I remember one time when you know, I was in prison, you know what I'm saying? I had to learn how to live with myself. And a lot of people can't do that, you know what I'm saying? That's why they do and move the way that they move. So when I was in prison, I used to fight a lot. So I just keep myself in the cell a lot. Really didn't go outside or this and that because I knew at some point in time I'd be in the hole and have to sit back there for months and stuff behind whatever I was about to do or whatever I did do. And I remember one time I got sent to the hole and they was giving my property through the chuck hole and stuff. And then they have to slide a calendar in there to me and one of my calendars. And I looked and I started counting on my fingers. I was like, damn, I got 9 years left. And that shit stuck with me. It hurt. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I don't never ever want to be sitting in a situation thinking, damn, 9 years. Because life and it moves so fast and stuff sometimes. You be so bored that time fly by fast. You know what I'm saying? And you become caught up in a routine. So it's like it was times where I would sit there and think like, damn, I wish I can go cut the grass. I wish I can go take out the trash. When the last time have I ever took a bath? And it's been years. You know what I'm saying? I did almost 17 years. And then I prayed to God that, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't one of the ones where my mom passed away while I was in there. And then we didn't realize then before going in that in prison you're not living, you're only existing. I don't get care what you're learning, what you're educating yourself to, you exist because you're not able to apply that in life and you know what I'm saying, give it to others or build on to help build up your family. So I told myself I wasn't in there getting all the little crazy trades. There was a lot of guys getting all these trades about custodial maintenance and stuff. Because in prison, you got all the vision of what you're gonna do, how you're gonna do it, boom, boom, boom. But then when you get out in the world, you realize there's so many roadblocks in your way, and you're blocking you that it deteriorated a lot of people from, and they revert back to what they was doing. So I told myself when I have 2 years left, yo, I'm gonna get myself an electrical trade. And that's what I did when I got the St. Bride. I got my electrical trade. I came home and you know what I'm saying? I was like, even when I was in the street, I got tired of selling drugs, got tired of living in the street, yo, running this, that, this, and that. At some point in time, I wanted to just chill out. Never in my life have I ever thought about I ever have a career. You know what I'm saying? And when the time got closer and closer for me to get out and stuff, man, I started pushing and doing everything, getting myself right mentally, physically, and to go towards this career. So I told myself that there's a lot of cornballs that we call cornballs, nerds, and all that stuff live out here and caught a speeding ticket. Why can't I
Exactly.
live like that? And then there's a lot of saying, this is saying in prison where, yo, I'd rather be the square.
I'm a straight square. I
I'm a
love
square.
it.
L7, baby.
Yeah. And then now when you
L7.
realize it, because you grew up mentally, you realize, shit, it's beautiful being a square. You know what I'm saying? I love it.
Living a good life. Living a good
Yo,
life.
I live by myself. Yo, I got PlayStation 5 in one room, PlayStation 4 in the next room. I got everything I want. This is a man's cave. I'm 47, but it's still a man cave. You know what I'm saying?
And you ain't waking up looking at niggas all day, every day.
Exactly. Ain't no
Damn.
stand-up account.
Fuck
Yo,
none of that.
I ain't gonna fry. I go right now, and get you. I still eat ramen noodles. I got packs of ramen noodles back there. I still got it. I ain't gonna
Man,
lie.
do you bust them up on the floor?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I love the luxury now. I ain't gotta melt the cheese. I
That
use
right?
cheese dip, cheese,
That
potato
right?
chip, cheese. Yo, man, man, I got that, yo. Yo, prison was bad, but it taught me a lot of things about survival and stuff. You see what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And yo, it also taught me patience. You see, I done bust these things open already. These
That's
things get
right.
eight.
That right?
No, it's more down here. They get eight. They get eight.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But yo, it taught me how to be a stronger man, and it taught me how to one day be a husband or something. Cause yo, in prison, yo, I don't gonna care what motherfucker say. Everybody ain't tough. We want love.
Yeah.
Straight up.
That's right.
And
That's
it
right.
teach you how to love, how to look, how to want it, and how to give it back. Yeah, when we get free air in our lungs, we still cut up and stuff. But yo, at some point in time, you settle down and chill out. You know what I'm saying? And then I had a son when I came home. He's 4 years old. I had children before I went in prison, but I was so caught up in the
They
streets
grown.
that I didn't realize that the actual being there was important. But I thought giving the money and that was important.
These two, man.
You know what I'm saying? But now I'm actually there and I'm realizing, dang, I messed up. So I don't never want people to go through what I went through. You know what I'm saying? That's why I do what I do and I give back and try to give back. You know what I'm saying? And I live this example as that, yo, look, I'm 47 years old. I've been in prison. But look, let me show you where I've been. See, because you can't, a child or a grown person can't relate to you or not gonna really listen to you if you can't have nothing to show them. You can talk it, but are you walking it? And that's why I say there's a lot of people tickling ears and stuff. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why I do what I do now. You know what I'm saying? I fight with a group of people, guns down, gloves up. I do backyard fighting on YouTube and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I noticed that when I chilled out and wasn't training so much, wasn't so many people going hard. But when I fought with these people, because I had to be the example, I had to keep
That's your
pushing.
joint, the guns down, glove up thing.
Yeah.
Nah, it's a bunch of us, but mine's pound for pound. If you go on YouTube and look up
Pound for
cornflake
pound.
fighting, you'll see a
Yeah.
lot. I host shows in Hampton.
I spoke to you before. I spoke to you
Yeah.
before. Yeah, I
So
remember
you
that.
know,
It
and
was
then
a while
pretty
ago.
soon
That's been up.
I'm
You've been
shooting
doing
up.
that for a minute.
Yeah. So I snuck my prison boots out of Greenville when I got released because I wanted to make a statement. My statement before I fight, I tell people on camera, yo, I fight for those who can't fight for themselves. Because yo, we glorify going to prison and look at this shit with Big Meat, yo. Everybody glorifying that shit, but they don't really know the details behind it. We glorify everything that's bad and don't glorify nothing that's good.
That
Yeah.
part.
You feel what I'm saying? And I wanted a story. I'm walking in these boots. I'm fighting in these boots for those who can't fight for themselves and stuff. You feel what I'm saying? And
Dope.
you gotta live by example. It's hard for me still sometimes to even be in a crowded area. It's hard for me to relate to those our age because they act like the little kids. You feel what I'm saying? How you gonna have a teenage boy or a teenage girl and you trying to live by a good example, but every time I look at you, you in a picture with your ass out. You see what I'm saying? Yo, black people these days offer nothing but twerking. You know, our culture come from dance and stuff, but then you a grown ass person. All you know how to do, all you bring to the table is coochie and some loose butt cheeks. That's all you bring.
Shit, they say they don't bring nothing to the table now.
Yeah, but I'm broke. But all you can do is twerk. You know what I'm saying? Yo, and you can tell yo coochie ain't power because your OnlyFans page ain't popping. You only selling pictures for $1.50.
We
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
but yo,
right.
I had to. I know what it's like to be super
Just going
bored,
to get
and
the 40 ball, man.
So yo, I know what it's like to be super bored, and I told myself, man, I can't never put myself in there, yo. I know what I got to do now, cause yo, the growth of mentality is there, man. Yo, anybody, if you in your 30s and your 40s and your 50 right now, and you looking to make a name, and you ain't known for at least stealing some gum now at this age, get the hell away from me, man.
You missed it,
You
man. Let it
deserve,
go. You missed it. You missed
let
it,
it go.
man.
yeah,
And
On
don't
to the
and
you
next
don't
one.
have
deserve,
to, and don't
yeah.
have because all of you all said that prison taught you all something. Don't be the ones that prison need to teach you. If y'all need to know, go to the people that already taught it to and let them tell you so you ain't gotta go that way.
Right.
Exactly. And I just
They
want
didn't
to say at the
already
close,
sacrifice so you don't have to.
I just want to say it like this, man. Listen, you guys, like you say, you've been in, you've been out, you walking the straight path, far as I know from everybody doing your thing, giving back to the community, like to the youth. That's the main thing. No matter if somebody fucking what you don't like it, agree, keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Worry about those that's with you than those that's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like we
Yeah.
gotta understand that too. Like stop giving listen, because the energy we giving to those that ain't fucking with us, why you this and why this, that's time we can be giving to those kids we need. Either you fucking with me or you ain't. You know what I'm saying? We gotta understand, just like we said, there was times when we weren't on this path, everybody ain't on the same page, everybody ain't got the same understanding. Listen, I gave it to you from the heart. That's all I could do. It's up to you to receive it. And when you do, I'll be here waiting with open arms. I ain't gonna keep wasting my time that I could be giving to somebody else to try to get you
Yep.
on my page. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel because your time is valuable, man. We all got the same 24 in the day. So giving you some every day on some bullshit, I ain't got time for it. Like I said, man, let me say we got one comment before I close out.
Love y'all. Don't appreciate the time, man. Good seeing
Thank y'all.
you.
Thank
Fat
All
y'all.
right.
Tuesday.
Same for y'all.
No,
What was
I
the
really do
comment?
Appreciate it,
appreciate
yo.
everybody. And we listen, don't
What was
let
the
this be. We
comment?
ain't got to be on map. It was Bruce saying 45. I was about to get to it. I ain't dogging you. He said 45. He was saying something to what somebody say now 45 now due to inflation. But I guess he wanted. He asked was we lied. I guess he wanted. Bruce went in, came home. I guess he wanted to say something on his behalf, but he
Bruce.
ain't say nothing. Yeah,
Who's that?
little Bruce. Football Bruce. Little
Oh,
football Bruce.
oh, 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 yeah. The
Yeah,
work want to work on the cars.
yeah. So like I said, it don't have to be this platform. We can always set something up, link for the youth, man. Hey, man, I just love doing what I do. I've been doing it for so long, and I'm glad to see other people doing it. They can
Yeah,
relate to.
I finally told Marie I'm here for her. And I told you the same thing, Rob. Whatever you need from me, far as giving back into the kids. I'm in a space now where I can do it, Marie. I wasn't in that space 8, 9
I
years ago.
understand. I understand completely.
And
I'm
when we do this one again, which could be soon, whatever. One key point that we got to talk about is the fucking parents. The parents. we let them off the hook with so much. But I ain't gonna start it up. I ain't gonna start it up because it was so much I wanted to say. But
That's
shit,
where
you
it
know,
starts at.
Yeah, but
yeah,
you experience it a lot more because you coaching, so you got to deal with it up front. And I get it. I get it. We gotta do what we can offer though. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no question.
Because we gotta be the parents outside their house. Like it's a village. And every
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
we don't want to piss them parents off. We just live by example and let
Also, yo, you gotta put into reality, yo, because there's a lot of times, a lot of things we've done, whether it was to either fight, killing, or to be in the streets was behind a girl.
yeah, yeah.
So a lot of
But
kids
y'all
Always,
letting
gotta,
these
man.
y'all, we
girls,
gonna have them programs coming up so that that these things can be taught because we can't. We living in a time where we can't depend on it being taught in the household. And so we gotta offer that as well. And so we're gonna be teaching those, having those trainings also for girls and for boys,
Mhm.
and showing young men and young women how they truly supposed to be interacting with one another as young princes and young princesses.
yeah.
No question.
Absolutely.
And listen, it's always work to be done. There's so many things out here, and I'm gonna just throw this. I want to listen, and I said this to Marie, and I said this to everybody else. Maybe I won't be able to touch it, but I think it's definitely needed, man. Where's the Boy Scouts at in
Uh-oh,
Virginia?
Dominique.
You know what I'm saying? We grew up with that. My dad and them did that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Q. So since we was little, like I said, I remember we was involved, and then when it got involved with the church, and then it went away. And I can't remember. Shoot, that's the last one I seen in this area. Like
I mean,
that teach men
the,
so many things, bro. Young boys, so many things. You got to
yeah,
get the
it does,
fruitcakes out. You
man.
got to get the fruitcakes out the way. You know what I'm saying?
There
But
you
that's where
go. That's the
good
key.
people come in. Yeah.
That's the key.
Listen, I ain't want. I seen you looking. Listen, I won't stop talking because it just those type of things. We need those type of
We
things
got to be
back.
honorable men. It got to be honorable men that we entrust our children to. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The men got to stand up and be real men and not
And then
have
they
no
gotta
ulterior motive behind it.
and they gotta build up our trust to do certain
That's
things.
right.
You just ain't gonna come in and then we going on this trip. No, let's start with the little shit. Individual in the rooms, teaching them crafts, do this. Then
That's right.
eventually we can build up to a hiking trip. And it might be during the day the first two times where you get out there for a couple of hours and before we do the overnight things. It just but not only that, it teaches a lot of these lost young men how to interact and deal with their kids other shit than wilding out, turning up. It's different shit your kid can do to let me get out here before I keep y'all listen, man. Y'all have to keep going. So listen,
It's
thank
a
y'all for
lot.
coming on the thank y'all for coming on the show. I'm gonna end it with my saying. We
Yes.
definitely will be doing another show. Bruce say when the next show, we'll let you know, man. I'm with this one, man, it ain't even gotta be a show. Hit me up, shit. We click it up, boom, 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 go live. Whoever want to get on, we just have some agendas to talk. But
This
I'm about to
was
get out here and do
beautiful,
my
and
hood.
thank you all for coming up here. I really appreciate it. And I'm just so thankful for y'all to have y'all in my life. As my brothers. So
Thank you.
No
You're
doubt.
welcome.
Thank you.
All right, love
Oh,
y'all.
so
Peace.
fast.
Yeah, and
Love all y'all,
Bruce say
man.
when we do it, he'll love to
I
do the
appreciate it.
automotive. He'll love to do automotive class. So I'm gonna take us out. May the wind always be at your back and the sun always upon your face. And may the
ooh,
wings of destiny
ooh,
carry you
shit.
aloft to dance with the stars. Until next time, keep listening with pleasure, of course. We
My
appreciate
nigga,
everybody.
my nigga got
Yes,
an out. Peace.
the
All day.
broadcast is now ended.